So I managed to delete the introduction that I recorded for this video, so here's a new one. In this video, we're going to be rebuilding the carburetor from a 1981 Honda C70 Passport or a Super Cub. So let's get down to it. So as I'm going through this, I'll just talk about the parts I'm taking off here. So first of all, I'm going to pull the idle adjust out of the side of the carb body here. So there's our idle adjust screw. Just pushes the slide up and down. And I'll grab the slide a bit later. It's over there, so on the throttle cable right now. There's the air fuel mixture screw here. That determines how lean or rich the fuel is getting delivered into your engine. So there'll be a spring on that, and there's usually a little washer and an O-ring as well. And we'll pull that out later because there's likely replacements in our kit for that. Here's our choke. We'll pull that assembly apart. There's still gas in it. Just one screw in our choke plate here. Our choke should slide rid of the carb body as well. So we got our spring. There's a spring inside this piece too. So some of these parts I'm going to put in the large basket, and some of these parts I'll put in the small little sieve here. If I don't lose them, that is. Now with regard to this piece here, because there's plastic on it, I don't want to put that in the solution. Now I don't think the simple green I'm using is that harsh on plastic. But I don't think there's any real need. This is relatively clean, and I can just hit this with a bit of carb cleaner later, and then I'll oil it up. So I'll leave that out for the time being. I'll put it in my little bucket of parts that are not getting put in the washer. So other than that, okay, we'll get the drain plug. And I'll probably do this over my little container because there's likely fuel in this. See, there's a bunch of spiller in my hands. There we go. That looks disgusting. I'm surprised this was running when I had it running before because that's pretty gross. That goes there. Now we can pop the bowl off. Actually, I'll pop the petcock off first. I wonder, is there a petcock seal with this? We'll see. We'll have to reuse it if there isn't one there. It's not a big deal. Both petcock screws, just the petcock off. So you can see there's a filter there as well as the O-ring. I really need to open up this kit and have a look and see if there's a replacement for that. There probably isn't. So there is an O-ring for it, but it doesn't look like there's any filter material for it. So we're going to want to be really careful when we pull that out of there so that we don't tear up that filter material. The old O-ring. Let's get a little precision screwdriver and see if we can pick them out. You see, it's just a little plastic diaphragm. There we go. This uses the filter. I'm going to put that in the parts that I'm not going to put in the ultrasonic. Just in case the ultrasonic wave action destroys the plastic on that. If you put tin foil in an ultrasonic cleaner, you'll see what I'm talking about. It has the ability to, I guess, shred the tin foil. This mightn't be as bad, but I don't want to take the risk because I don't have a replacement for it. So we'll just lay that right there for now. Okay, so it's that, and that. We'll pop this O-ring out here. That's the other O-ring. And now we can take the bowl off. So the petcock will be going in. Into the basket we go there. Okay, so there's only 2 screws in the bowl of this carburetor. So get those. And maybe what I'll do is I'll just insert a little clip of the bike running when I first got it running. So when I first got it, it wasn't running, and it had no spark. So I managed to figure out the spark issue. It was just the points are fucked up, and that's in the first video that I put up for that build series. So you should be able to check that out there, and I'll link it here as well. That way you can see it. This gasket is pretty toast. That's a gonzo as well, and that's good to go in our little basket now. Big old pin in this one. Cool, cool. So we'll slide that pin out. This pin will come all the way out. Yeah, okay, so our pin goes in our sieve, our float, and our needle. All looks good. The float in there. Now let's pop out our main jet in the emulsion tube, and this should be ready to be dropped right into our solution. And that's currently up to 26 degrees, so that'll be fine. We'll leave that for a half hour. We'll get up to temperature as it does its thing. Okay, so that's the jet. Is there a replacement? There are replacement jets. So yeah. And this jet is marked as an 88. Okay, so it's an 88 main jet. Let's get a crappy thumb wrench here. Pop out the emulsion tube. Unscrew that. So I did give this a bit of a cleaning when I first got the bike running, but I didn't really go into depth. I just wanted to get the bike to go. So there's our emulsion tube. We can see there's my little pick too. There it is. There's going to be a new seat there as well, so I can pop that down. There's a needle guide, if you want to call it that. You get it to go in-ish. Poke down through the top here. Now if we can find one of the punches here, and I'll show you what I'm doing here now actually, see if I get to zoom in. So if you look, I don't know if this is going to show up or not, this could be really bad. If you can see down into that hole, so that's like a little seat, and what it is it's this part right here in the corner of the bag. So let me see if I can get that to focus. So this thing here, so there's a replacement for it. So I'm just going to need to press that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go down through the top of the carb here. You'll just see the hole there. I don't know if it's going to show up very well. Probably not. But I just need to go down through that with a proper sized. That's a bit too big. Proper sized punch. I'll just let me push that onto the carb body. This one should do it. Yeah, here we go. Maybe. I think that was just a bit too big as well. Next one down. There we go. So that's that little guy right there popped out, because we do have a replacement for that. But I'll still clean it because we hoard all our parts just in case. And finally, the idle jet is just a little tiny guy here, and it looks like we don't have a replacement for the idle jet. Let me see. Jet needle, jet main, number 90. There is no, okay, so I guess the idle jet will stay. So we'll keep that there. That's pretty blocked. So that's it. That's the carburetor. all stripped down. So let's drop this into the ultrasonic cleaner. I'll go play with something else for a half hour. We'll come back and we'll rebuild this carburetor. So now that our stuff is done cooking, we should be able to go ahead and pull this all out of the ultrasonic. So bit of foam there. Move my air hose here. So we're going to give everything a blow job now once it's done coming out of the ultrasonic to dry it off. But either way, we've got our sieve full of parts. We'll get a good look at the liquid again now. We'll see what it looks like after 2 rounds of cleaning parts. So we got our sieve here. We got our basket. And if we take a quick look at the solution now, you can see it's turning a bit gray. You can still see that kind of goopy type stuff. If I can turn my light toward it a bit, let's see if you can see this a bit better. We're just getting a reflection off it, really. Either way, I probably wouldn't use this to do another carb. I'd toss it and start with some new stuff again, but 2 carbs should be fine. Either way, let's clean up these parts and get them back together. So I get my glasses on so I don't blast stuff into my own face. Give all this a quick shot out. So there we have it. It's all our parts laid out. Some of our parts now I'll give a quick shot of the carb cleaner as we put it back together, but let's dive in and actually start the reassembly process here. One small difference in this kit, and it's actually only it's not a functional difference, so it doesn't make a whole lick of difference at all actually. So right here we've got the old air mix or air fuel mix screw. Here we got the new one. So you can see from the functional part, like the little tip that blocks the aperture in the body down to the base of the threaded part, those are the same length. And then the only difference is this one has a longer screw on it, so it's actually going to be easier to get at with a screwdriver. So that's actually really nice. The other difference is the original main jet for this carburetor. And if I hit autofocus here, so it'll come in. The original jet for the carb was a 88 and 88, if we want to be grammatically correct about it. And the new one is a 90. So, you know, 2 thou, extra bit of gas, all good. So yeah, so those are the 2 differences: the focus, the air fuel mix screw being different on the screw head of things, and then the new jet being a tiny bit bigger. So back to it. So there it is. That's our freshly rebuilt Honda C70 carburetor. As you can tell, I forgot to put my, I guess, needle slide gasket back in, but hey, the one that was there was alright, so I'll hang on to that one, throw it back in the bag and save it for next time. Anyways, once again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Like I said before, if you're a fan of my content, if you're into this kind of stuff, you know, carb rebuilds, old motorcycle restorations, even some fabrication projects from time to time, feel free to drop me a subscribe. Once again, I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.